This is a brand new model from New Balance, even though it might look a little familiar. This is the New Balance Abzorb 2010, and you'll be seeing this model a lot more this year. And in this video, I'll be telling you everything you need to know about this shoe. So the first thing you need to know is that this is the debut colorway of this shoe. This is the vintage khaki colorway, and the official release date for this will be May the 7th worldwide on New Balance as well as other retailers. And the price, these are a bit more affordable than I expected. They will be retailing for $160 or 160 euros, which puts it right in that mid-tier price range that New Balance has, with other models like the 2002R, which retails for $145, the 9060, which goes for $150, and you got the 1906, which is around $160 as well. But it is significantly lower than that high price tier, which is the 900 series, which retails for $200. But it's safe to say that at least looks wise, it kind of looks like a 900 series shoe. New Balance is really going big with a lot of new models this year. So not only will we be getting the 2010s, there's also supposed to be the Abzorb 2000s dropping at some point. A very loud sneaker with a lot of visible tech on it. And this one, which I'm very excited for, which is the New Balance 204L, which actually looks very similar to their Miu Miu collab. But with this pair, New Balance is pretty much doing what it does best, giving us a retro-inspired runner with a bit of a modern twist. I mentioned that this vintage khaki colorway is the first one to release, but we should be also seeing this brown pair drop pretty soon. And then to celebrate New Balance's gray day later this year, we'll also be seeing this very clean gray version. And there's also already two collabs that have been announced on this model. First, of course, with Kith. They showed us two different colorways of the shoe, giving us a look at what the shoe could potentially look like with more vibrant colors. And also you have this Rich Paul colorway. He was seen rocking these pink 2010s, which are pretty clean as well. So let's get into the review, starting with the box. Very standard, nothing to really talk about here. It's your standard gray New Balance box. And taking the shoes out of the box, what caught my attention immediately was the knit pattern on the mesh upper of the shoe. It features this diamond knit pattern, which is pretty unique. I can't think of another New Balance model that features this pattern, but let me know in the comments if I'm missing something. The holes on this mesh definitely appear a lot bigger than usual with most other New Balance models. And the other thing I thought was, this doesn't really look like a brand new model. It actually reminded me a lot of the 990 V3. You can kind of see it putting these two shoes together. You have that rather big N logo in the middle, and then have a look at the panels on the toe box. As you can see, the arrangement of the panels are done in a very similar way. There are some design aspects that are unique to this shoe. For example, you have this little bit of exposed mesh right on the mudguard, both on the lateral and medial sides. The tongue as well is done in that same diamond knit pattern. And the logo on the tongue, I guess you can say on this pair it is very minimal. You just have that NB logo, and it's a triangular shape, and it features 3M reflective paneling. And on the heel as well, you have pretty much an identical triangle shape there, also with a 3M panel. The shoe only did come with one pair of laces, and on this pair it came with these dark gray laces. Typically 900 series shoes always come with multiple lacing options. The N logo right in the middle here is not as big as some of the 900 series shoes. However, it is significantly bigger, I would say, visually than the 2002R or the 1906R. The insole of the shoe features New Balance 2010 branding, and that's actually the only place on the entire shoe which mentions the model name. You don't see 2010 anywhere else. And looking at the rubber outsole here, the only, I guess, interesting part about this outsole to me is this little New Balance logo right at the front of the shoe. And you also get this stability TPU plate in the middle. But really what sets the shoe apart from most other New Balance models is the midsole, specifically the heel. They have a very unique heel shape here, which I don't think they've taken from another New Balance model. This is unique to the 2010s. And it features two visible Abzorb pods there. And this midsole is that modern twist I was talking about. You get a very traditional looking upper of the shoe, but then you also got this very different looking midsole. And the midsole is also much bigger on the heel, and then it tapers down towards the toe. I guess the Abzorb pods are pretty cool because I guess you can throw different colors on it to really mix and match the colorway. In terms of the overall shape of the shoe, I guess the question is how chunky are these relative to other New Balance models? Comparing these side by side with the 900 series, with the V3s in particular, you can definitely see that the 2010s are significantly chunkier looking. The ankle collar on these is also a lot higher, and also just having these on feet, it really does feel like in the 990 V3s you're just a lot closer to the ground, whereas these feel like you're walking on a much thicker sole. So I guess it's good if you're trying to look a bit taller. Comparing them with the 2002R, however, I feel like they're pretty identical in terms of how chunky they are. The only visible difference I see is that the toe box on the 2010s is slightly longer than the 2002Rs and the 1906s. But now let's move on to what a lot of you guys I'm sure are very interested about. How do these fit and how comfy are they? So I got these in my true size because that's typically what I get in most New Balance models. And for me, I would say that they are the right size because I have more than enough room in the toe box area and I don't really have any heel slippage. However, they do feel a bit tight in the midfoot region, especially compared with other New Balance models. I'm not sure if it's because the shoe needs some time to break in, but right out the box, I can tell you that they definitely do feel slightly uncomfortable in the midfoot region. I personally wouldn't go a half size up in this shoe, however, because in the toe area, it seems to be the perfect size. And going a half size up, you're just gonna have way too much room here. So it does seem like this shoe is a bit more narrow than other New Balance models. And in terms of the comfort and cushioning, now this shoe does feature the Abzorb technology, which isn't New Balance's like high-end cushioning tech. So of course, when I wore these and I compared it with the 900 series, comparing it with my V3s, the 990 V3s was significantly more comfortable in my opinion. The cushioning was just way softer. The cushioning on these, the 2010s, feels quite a bit more firm and a little bit more bouncy. And when comparing these with the 2002R, the cushioning felt about the same. I didn't really notice anything different. However, the fit on the 2002s were definitely much better for me because the shoes are a bit more wide foot friendly. Whereas these, like I said, it's a bit more discomfort in the midfoot area. So I will actually say that the 2002s are the more comfy shoe overall. And honestly, even comparing it with some similar non-New Balance models, which are in this price range, such as the Zoom Vomero 5, I even find the Zoom Vomero 5s personally to be significantly more comfy than these. Not only because of the cushioning, they just fit better as well. So I will say from a comfort standpoint, they are a bit disappointing. My overall thoughts on this shoe, however, I think it's a great looking model. It's instantly recognizable as a classic looking New Balance shoe. I'm a big fan of how the diamond knit pattern looks on it as well. And I actually do really like this OG colorway. It reminds me a bit of the Jound collab on the V3s. However, I am more excited about some of the other colorways like that gray pair, which I think this shoe looks really good in that color. From a looks point of view, now of course this is totally subjective. You could make the argument that this is a better looking shoe than the 2002Rs or the 1906s. But as I said, I am slightly disappointed in how these fit and the comfort level. I'd actually rather pay the extra $40 and just get a pair of the 900 series like the 993s or the 990s, because I do feel like there is a pretty significant jump in terms of comfort level and you're also getting a very similar look. But yeah, those are just my overall thoughts on this shoe. Please leave a comment if there's anything that I didn't answer, something you wanted me to talk about. I will definitely respond to all your comments. And of course, make sure you give me a follow on Instagram. That's where I'm posting content daily and I respond to all of you guys who DM me. And also check out my sneaker podcast while you're at it. Those links can be found in the description as well. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and for supporting my content. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.